Hello, YouTube. Kind of starting my first build here on the Creation 1-1 channel, and wanted to start this video off just by giving, I think for each of my build videos, what I'm going to do is start to put together a sort of a visionary board, just Google Images copied into a Paint application here, just kind of drawing some similarities between things that stuck out to me for where my mind goes before I think about starting a build. But with that being said, what I've got here is a handful of photos, and I think for this build, the main, I'll know I'm done after however many videos it takes and hours in Unreal Engine when I've gotten to a point where with the structure that I'm building, I'm satisfied with the piece placement and perhaps the introduction of a few other elements that looks like, this small structure has so much, um, you know, material and placement of pieces where it feels like a lived-in real-life structure, not just another kind of basic shape stood up or something shoddily put together, really focusing on all the fine details within the structure. And what that structure is going to be is just a bar, an old rustic bar, but with the aesthetic of a very, you know, back in the day library where, let's just say Harvard, early day Harvard, where really you were just kind of studying, not by candle, but by lamps. There really wasn't a lot of technology in there. Really tall bookshelves, big wooden pieces that kind of stick out as the end caps of these old bookshelf structures, perhaps multi-leveled, and then some kind of ornate, whether it's paintings on the walls or, like in this photo down here, I really like this ceiling, the aesthetic of this ceiling. It looks like almost kind of like something out of a museum there. But yeah, and then the bar might be sort of on one side, on one wall, with like a big ornate sort of back piece here, or perhaps something in the middle with, the bar itself, and then all the surrounding edges being kind of the bookshelves will ultimately be the sort of the main ticket items, at least for this build. And then, of course, everything within the bar itself is just going to be, furniture, tables, sort of seating arrangements. Essentially, just want this to look like, there's tons of space to entertain, and literally just, the bar just closed down after like a really long night. I am also going to be using one plugin that I found in the store here. I think this was actually free last month, but this is the Cigar Room Environment. Yeah, I believe this was on sale. Kind of for those of you that don't know, every every month the Epic Games kind of marketplace will have 5 free plugins that are actually really good. There seems to be a lot of content here, a lot of value here with these. But I think this one was either free last month, so I'm not sure what the price would be right now, but I do believe this isn't, typically a free, you know, uh, environment plugin. But yeah, the cigar room environment, it looks like 39 unique meshes, and really just kind of scrolling through the photos here, you can see there's lots of, this is the furniture I'm thinking about going for. Hopefully we'll have maybe some of those kind of paintings like that. Um, you know, you know, smaller coffee tables, perhaps with liquor bottles, other, ashtrays, things to have on that table. Very gentleman clubs kind of environment, perhaps, coat hangers in the back, maybe some of this um, darker wood, kind of reddish color for a material. Once we start to work on that, perhaps some chandeliers hanging. We'll see really what this looks like when we start to get in there and kind of start to work on the build. But yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing just from these photos here. But with that being said, let's jump into Unreal and start this build. Thanks. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the Epic Games kind of launcher here. And instead of jumping back into my current working Fantasy World project, that's where I have a lot of things I'm testing and trying to build out. I'm just going to go ahead and launch to create a brand new project. And I think we're going to, I have an idea. I think we're going to do a first person game on kind of a smaller level. So, yeah, let's go ahead and create a new game. We'll make this first person. We'll leave all these settings the same, and I'm just going to call this old bar. And then we'll click create. Yep, so we're going to load in to our first person template here. To start, let me go ahead and create my content folder. Call this my content. Oops, no R there. Put that away, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and just start with instead of working inside of this level, I'm just going to create a brand new level. Call this, do a basic one, do create. Let's see, I think that map, yeah, that landscape might just be a little too big, so I'm going to remove this and start with a smaller one. We'll jump from the selection tool here down to landscape, and you'll get brought to kind of this view right here. Obviously, we are creating the space for our landscape. And I think what I'm going to do is drop this down to, yeah, it's a little too small. Let's try 31 by 31. Do you want to do 1 by 1 sections or 2 by 2? Yeah, we'll do that. That looks good to me. Hit create. Now we have our landscape. Let's go back into the selection mode. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. So to start, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't like working on this checkerboard landscape. I'm going to come in here and let's try to apply a grass material if we have anything. If not, I might have to jump into Quixel Bridge, but let's just search and see what we have real quick. Nope. Yep, we don't have anything, so we'll jump over to Quixel Bridge. And for those of you that don't know, I believe everything in here is free, but tons of great materials and some other props that can be, I think, just downloaded for free for your build there. But definitely where I go to get all of my materials, for any projects I'm kind of working on right now. But search grass, and forest roots, path, Nordic, mossy grass. Yeah, this looks good. So I'll leave that as a medium. Let's go ahead and download this. Should be done pretty quickly. We'll go ahead and add that. Did that add? Oh, there it is. Yep, so let's just see. I think we can just drag and drop this here. There we go. Much better looking landscape just kind of start working on. Of course, we'll come back later and obviously fill this in with some actual foliage, make it look a little bit better. But yeah, I think to start, I'm gonna maybe kind of position this right about here. Let's go into the content drawer. Let's look at our starter content, and I want to go over to architecture, and I'm going to put this floor down here. I shall Yep, that looks right. So then let's come up here. So these are going to be our selection, kind of our basic UI, kind of controlling tools. So of course we have the kind of the pointer there to select. We have the, the movement piece. We have a rotator piece, and then finally a increase the size piece. You just kind of grab the edges. Some of these shapes will kind of grow in one direction, whereas others will actually grow in both directions. So I'm just going to expand this out a little bit. Pull that back into, say, about here. I think I will probably put some stairs outside, so we'll increase the height a little bit. there. Let's play from here and see what that looks like. Yeah, I suppose that's good enough. Okay. So I think now next, let's go ahead and get we'll find a wooden kind of floor color. Something like hardwood floors. Narrow wooden stripe. That could be interesting. Wooden planks, wooden planks. I'm gonna go with this. I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. We got that downloaded there. Let's go ahead and add it. Really love Quixel Bridge. It's made learning, and I think I might even just be able to do this. I think anytime you download it, you can grab it, come up here, hover. Yeah, there we go. Although, does that look like... Hmm. Yeah, to me that kind of looks more like concrete and not those planks. Wooden planks. Let me see if I add this. Yeah, that's what I exactly grabbed. So yeah, let's see. Type in wooden. Yeah, that was weird. Typically you can just kind of grab and pull that up there and drop it, but I guess somehow maybe that was a small glitch, but not to worry. This is, yeah, I think this is kind of the aesthetic that we're going for here. Um, and then I think, yeah, maybe jump the size up a little bit more. Yeah, let's kind of position this in the middle here. We'll do this just a little bit more this way. Something like that. I like that. Whoops. So to start, I think what I'm really going to try to do is leave like the walls and a lot of the details last, because what are we putting up on the walls for this build? Well, we're doing that library um, kind of bar, hybrid. So I think I'm going to look to create just a few different bookshelf structures with some of the shapes here, maybe some of the walls there like that, make some of those smaller. We'll see kind of what works out. And yeah, so I'm gonna grab a couple of shapes. Let's put these here. Maybe we'll grab maybe a plane. Hmm. I guess that's really all we would need from this list. And then let's come up here to architecture and we'll grab one of those walls, grab one of these little more shallower walls, and perhaps a pillar. Yeah, so let's think about, I don't want to go with kind of traditional, just squared up shape. I do like the idea of making this almost kind of lopsided, like it's seen better days. But I think to start, let's definitely take one of these walls here. Move this over. We'll just kind of get a couple of like starter pieces to place around. So I think, yeah, oh, no, we need to stand that straight up. Kind of go ahead and move that. Keep it with the map for now. let's go ahead and then duplicate that. And then let's play from here and see how tall this is. Yeah, so that's not so bad in height. I think we'll do just like to play around, I guess, with my pieces a little bit, kind of see spatially what do those look like and how, from how close or far away they should be. But yeah, I think something a little bit like that. Then maybe I'm going to come up here and we're going to drop this. Well, that's a little much. So these pieces right here, so these correlate back to the first three piece augmenter tools here. So we'll come back to these two here, but this is going to kind of be along the same, like, number one, if you wanted to move a piece around, what size grid are you allowed to move it around? You can see you can go, you have these snap kind of intervals here. This is going to allow you to turn on a certain degree, or and again, if you just kind of turn that off, it's just as fine tuned as I guess your mouse can kind of get it on your your mouse pad. And then this here, I'm going to turn. I think what we'll do is we'll drop this down to, let's do like a 0.1. I'm going to keep that on. Yep, that's okay. Yep, okay. And then maybe make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Let's then take this. Okay, so I see that. Interesting. That only does not appear to have a backside to it, so we can't use that as a back to the bookshelf. I guess what we could do, no, I don't really need a floor. I'm going to take this key. No, we'll just duplicate another one of these right here. We'll swing that around 90 degrees. And let's kind of I think for these I will turn the perfect placements off just to kind of get it to where exact. As you can see, it moves a little bit more freely now. Doesn't need to be right on the seam, but yeah, something like that. That looks really good. And then let's go ahead and take and do, I think, a couple of duplicates here. So we'll move that over, move that over. We'll take this one. We'll want to put that on the ground. Let's go ahead and raise this one all the way up here. Kind of do like maybe a slightly larger top than what it needs to be. Something like that. We can then come back and maybe put some, I think maybe as we put some wooden color to this, we can perhaps put some smaller shapes around the top up here. Just thinking some extra decoration later on. Then let's go ahead and extend that out just a little bit. I think that's good. Yep, like that a lot. Then let's shorten this one. We'll go ahead and move this like right there. Pretty good seam there. I think that's spot on. I want to try to, maybe I'll take that in a little bit in the back. That's spot on there. so that's going to be too much. Yeah, so it's really just the sides. Looks like one tall back piece here and that. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. And the seams, okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm pleased with that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll leave that on the bottom. We'll duplicate that. We'll move that one up maybe about here-ish. Then we'll duplicate that again. We'll move that one down to about there. Nice. Okay. So now let's merge these actors together and make one kind of total bookshelf because we don't want to just have to remove all of these and realign them. So we just need to make sure we select all of the pieces. So we don't want that. So we do want this guy. We want that guy. The back, the top, the bottom. That's that one. So it's this one to here. And I think tools, merge actors. We have all of those selected. Then we will just merge the actors and let's put this inside of, where's, yep, my content. We'll save that there. Drag another one out. We can get rid of this here. You can see this is still going to be the separate pieces. The good thing about this is we can come back and maybe tilt that, give that some character, make it look a little bit more broken, different levels, but at least we have like one really uniform one put together. And then I think what I'm going to do next, what we'll do is we'll come in here and it's quite big actually. Maybe we will make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, something like that. All right. Yep. So one thing to be mindful of for the next one. I don't really like the way those bottoms kind of connect here. So we'll need to just double check that. Yeah, we can easily put that kind of a little bit into the floor. It's not so bad for this one. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just duplicate a few of those. Oops, we don't want to do that. Yep, so that's all four there. Maybe put one down here. Look to put one over here. And one all the way down here. So I'm going to crack away at building a couple more kind of probably 3 or 4 more just longer and then various variations of those bookshelves with perhaps shelves at different angles or almost kind of like they're broken out a little bit so everything doesn't look exactly perfect like it was just built yesterday. And then we'll look to do some placement. I think maybe we'll kind of organize perhaps the entrance, perhaps make us one area over here, perhaps a larger bar area that we'll work on next here, and then maybe this bit over here this kind of corner section will be the entire seating area. So I think we'll need some rugs and we'll need perhaps to download that the next time we get in here we'll download that cigar room plug-in package, and I'll start to kind of use place some of those props around and really get a feel for the space and what it all look like. And then maybe the walls will kind of come next, and we'll put all that together and then follow up with the landscape around the edges. But yep, more to come. So I've made a few developments, small developments, since kind of started building some bookshelves and whatnot. But before we kind of show that over here to the right, I did add, just for, definitely not going to stick with this, but kind of like a front-facing wall meant to be two windows and a main doorway here. My thought process was this wall will be kind of the entrance into the bar library area, though this will kind of turn into a small little waiting room. Then this was actually a sort of an interior mesh that was associated with that um, cigar room kind of plugin that we downloaded initially there, but very basic on the outside. But imagine you walk in here and kind of like a perhaps like some TVs on the wall, maybe a little concierge here, maybe even could do some kind of, I think, call them humidifiers on the wall where you might pick out a cigar, but then you would walk right back out into the bar area, and so you immediately would kind of open up here, and I've got some other assets I was playing around with in the background. But this, I'm thinking, if we take a step back, you walk right into it. I'm thinking what I might do is a big U-shaped bar right here. Yep, and then you would come in, you could make a left, you could make a right, or just go and get to the bar immediately. But these back areas kind of here, going up to, I'd say roughly about in here, depending on how I make that kind of waiting room area there, that's going to be where the lounges are on each side. So you walk in, waiting room, some kind of a little smaller station here, and then this whole place opens up into kind of this big T shape almost. Here's what I came up with. So we started off with this normal guy here, and then I kind of created a bigger cabinet. My thought process was here I could kind of put, with a bigger cabinet, take up more space. I could put some staggering shelves. I could maybe even tilt some, make it look like they're falling apart a little bit. But basically just a larger version of this, but empty. I then kind of went with this one here where I haven't saved these as meshes, as one solid mesh yet, but I wanted to put an even bigger sort of opening, but not even have a backing to this, almost like this, you could have furniture within the bookshelf here, and perhaps, something above your head here. If you play test, you'll see, this is actually quite tall. So the idea that you can even put some furniture under here and sit and maybe have like a table and chairs, something like that. Um, again, this guy over here, still pretty big, but this would be lined with shelves. You really wouldn't be doing anything outside of just looking at this. And this one's kind of normal height. I'll probably make maybe one more that's smaller, leveraging this, what I've already built here, kind of create, maybe even a more shallower one. But I think between something like that right there, this will be more of like an aesthetic, kind of more functional than anything, but still allowing me to come in and, you know, make part of that a bookshelf and the other part perhaps a lounge, kind of play into the lounge area. And then I did build this little guy here. I thought, maybe put this up in the middle, one or two of these in the middle of the floor, and you could just line some books here, some stuff on the bottom, some different stuff on the top, and then you could have, maybe make that ornate up top there. But I'm sure we'll make various other versions of this here, but yeah, be a good starting point. So let's go ahead, and I think to start, I want to save these as a mesh, and then we can start to place some in here before we wrap this video up. So that starts there. So that's the next one. Just like to triple check to make sure I don't leave any of these layers out. So that should be everything there. We'll come up here, tools, merge actors. I don't want to replace the source actors, merge actors. We'll put this into, where's my content here. Let's call this open style shelf. Save that there. That's saved. And then this guy, this guy, this guy. No, not that guy. So bam. Perfect. We'll merge these together. Uh, Probably a better way to name these, but that works for now. And then we'll come over here and finally get this last one. Yep. Tools, merge actors. Where's my content? Call this circle shelf. Great. Sweet. So now I'm going to come over here and place some of these down. We'll have something to work with next time when we get in here. Let's go ahead and do, I think we'll open that guy up right there. Content drawer, maybe we'll take another one out and put him there. And then something big right there. Pull all these up. Yep. And I think I'll put the round one here. Perfect. I think I will start off by take this, turn this 90 degrees. What I might even do, I might take this guy, put him in the corner. Let's see, maybe we make this a little bit, yeah, like that. And then maybe degrees. We'll go ahead and perfect. Like that placement for now. I think we'll use up some of these guys here. a wall like that. Then maybe we'll take and, for now, push these all the way down here. Okay. I imagine we'll have some open areas here, some other stuff going on, but at least that's that corner. Let's maybe come down here and do something with this corner. Maybe we'll kind of flip them, pull these down here for now. We'll go ahead and just do space those out a little bit, maybe. And then maybe do another one of these. Put some lighting there. Okay, that's not so bad. I think I'll take another one of these, actually. All right, that's good for right there. We'll leave this opening for the bar for now, and then let's take a look at actually. So this is the cigar room, the one that we downloaded. Just some of these, I've got some of these interiors already out there. That's the shell of that room, that waiting room. We do have some wine bottles, it looks like, but I think really for me, what I want to start to grab are that's a piece of the ceiling we'll look at later on. We've got some of the smaller coffee tables, of course, some doors, some chairs here. Yeah, let's start to grab some of this and put that there. How does that look up close to it? Okay. Content browser. Let's come over here. We'll grab this chair. I think there was a rug in here somewhere that I wanted to try out. Not seeing that. So we've got some books here, but I think we'll need a lot more. A lot more shapes and sizes of books, I think. Where did that go? Oh, right there, rug. Okay, so I'm curious what happens if we take the rug, first one. Then let's expand this out a little bit. All right. Something like that. Maybe we'll put this. Put this over here. Don't know if I'm really feeling this flooring anymore. It's like huge planks. Yeah, we might have to change that flooring up a little bit, but at least we've gotten some, starting to fill this room in. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. I might look to change that floor next time. There's not a better one here already in this space. I know we've got some stuff to put on kind of a on the ceiling, but let's do the table real quick. Just like that. Perfect. I like that. All right. Well, I think we'll stop this video here. On the next video, probably gonna do some small touch-ups, try to build out the shelves a little bit more, I think. Might try to look a little bit more in the Quixel Bridge shop just to see what other books and props that we have available. I don't think we'll really get to walls or the bar yet. We might have to wait. I think we'll really just kind of keep working on what we've already got here, and really just want to try to fill in the bookshelves around the perimeter without it looking too cookie cutterish. Um, and then maybe start to think about adding a few more walls just for context. But yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks.